protecting newborn children. The Born Alive Survivors Protection Act, which would have ensured that babies who survive abortions are given medical attention, failed to pass the Senate. Trump tweeted Monday evening, Senate Democrats just voted against legislation to prevent the killing of newborn infant children. The Democrat position on abortion is now so extreme that they don't mind executing babies after birth. This will be remembered as one of the most shocking votes in the history of Congress. There will be one thing that we should all agree on. It's protecting the lives of innocent babies. The bill would have provided the, quote, same protection of law as any newborn, unquote, and needed 60 votes to pass, but failed 53 to 44. It was pushed by Republican Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse, incidentally an infamous Never Trump rhino. And as an example of how extreme the Democrats are, Democratic Virginia Governor Ralph Northam has not walked back statements that he made that appeared to condone infanticide and late-term abortion in January. Congratulations to the Fallen State YouTube channel for reaching 200,000 subscribers. Thank you, guys. Bring the Fallen State channel and the Jesse Lee Peterson channel, on which this show is playing, up to 250,000 subscribers, please. And also, let's build up the Bond Rebuilding the Man YouTube channel, which is Jesse Lee Peterson's nonprofit/church channel, which streams live Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's unlike any other church that you've ever been to. Open forum, drama, suspense, comedy. It has it all. It's amazing. The Daily Caller reports that a biological male is the top-ranked NC2A women's track star. One of the fastest sprinters in the NCAA women's track is a biological male who identifies as a transgender woman. Franklin Pierce University runner CeCe Telfer competed in the men's track team in early 2018 before switching to the women's team. Telfer has dominated the NC2A Division II competition and led the women's team to the top 25 for the first time ever. This guy broke the conference finals record. He used to go by Craig. NC2A policy is that male athletes who identify as transgender can compete on women's teams if they suppress their testosterone levels for a full calendar year. NC2A in 2011 published an explainer saying that it's not well-founded to assume that being born with a male body gives transgender women an unfair advantage when competing against non-transgender women. Transgender women are men. I'm James Hake of The Hake Report. Shortly is the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. Thanks, guys.
Did you know Jesse's racist producer has his own show now?
Police brutality doesn't exist.
Right. If police brutality were talked about, then black brutality should be talked about by like 10 or 20 or 30 or 100 times more. And isn't it interesting? Quickly.
Wait.
No, you wait.
The Hake Report, Sundays 9 a.m. Pacific Time, noon Eastern.
Racism doesn't exist. It's a God that they serve, spiritual battle. It's a warfare. When you judge someone, you lose. You become blind to what reality is. It's a battle between good and evil, right versus wrong. Nothing to do with sexism, racism, homophobism, Islamophobism, no feminism, no deadbeatism, no isms.
No isms.
All kind of isms. All kind of isms. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show. It is Country and Western Tuesday. You can get involved by calling 888-775-3773, 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question, did God create sex? S-E-X. Did God create sex? That's such a good question. I want to go quickly back to Lacey. I held her over from the first hour. Lacey is out of Florida, our first-time caller. She's married to a black man, and it happened while they were in a fallen state. We talked about that, and also Lacey is talking about how this anger. How do you get over that anger? I believe. So Lacey, we talked about what your mother did. She when your father left, she brought another man into the house right away, and she just let you have your way, and she tried to make you call this guy daddy and all that crap, right?
Yeah.
And you said you need to forgive your father. What do you resent your father for? What did he do to you?
He was an alcoholic, and
What did that have to do with you?
it didn't have anything to do with me. He didn't have anything to do with me.
So why do
at
you
all.
resent him because he was an alcoholic? It had nothing to do with you.
Well, it didn't have. Well, I mean, I resented him for the fact that I feel like he never taught me anything. He never was interested in anything I was doing. He never played with me. He never did anything with me. Never took me to church. He never did anything.
Did you ask
I
him?
can't remember anything that he ever did with me. He
Did
was
you-
just always, hanging out with his friends or,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I do. Did you see him while you were growing up?
Yeah, he lived with us and until I was like 11, and then after they got divorced and he moved out, and he still lived in the same town, so I would visit him from time to time, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time with him because of his alcohol and drug addiction, you know?
But what did that have to do with you, though? Did he want to be with you then?
Yeah, he liked hanging out with me, and and I would like seeing him sometimes, but I mean,
Why did
wasn't
you
good for
judge
me
him?
as-
Why did you judge him? And as you said, doing drugs, if he wanted to hang out with you, all you needed was your father. Why did it matter to you if he was drinking or not?
because that was always the issue with my mom.
Thank you. That came from your mother. It wasn't your. Your father loved being around you, but your mother is a very judgmental woman, and she hated your father, and she tried
Well,
to turn you away from him.
She did, and they've been divorced for like 16
I think it's
years, and
time
she still
for
talks
me-
about how bad he was and this and that, and I had to tell her.
You can tell
to
she's
stop
being
talking
real.
About him. Just
Right,
quit
because
talking about him.
because-
It's over with. It's been over with. Just stop.
Because if she got involved with another man and then tried to make you call him father and then allow you to just do what you want, she is in no position to put down your father.
Right.
Uh,
Yes, and she's still not. So every time she talks about him now, I just say to stop. I don't even let her do it.
Yes, good. Here's what I recommend. If you want to overcome that anger, which is
Yeah.
of your father, the devil, and you can have you noticed that you can read the Bible, you can go to church, you can quote scriptures, you can name and claim Jesus, but if you have anger, you're still not happy, you have no peace.
Yeah, I know that, and I know that my anger is was a problem. God freed me from everything. I don't curse. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now,
I
the
got
one
freed
exception from the
everything
Oscars
he did that
recently
I used to
was
do. I'm
this
definitely
British.
born again. I got freed from everything.
Well, you
except
not
for the
you didn't
anger
get
was still
no, but you didn't get rid of the real issue.
Ooh,
The sin is the
it's
anger.
genuinely
Because
quite
anyone who
stressful.
has anger, they're playing God, and no one will enter into the kingdom of heaven if you are angry because
So,
you think that you are
in the
God,
best
even
film,
though Satan is your daddy.
I'm with Emily and Rachel, the
So
two
here's what I recommend.
loveliest women in the
Here's your
world to fall in
waterfall.
love with.
I
And to go to
recommend
work
you
with every
go and
day.
be honest with your mother.
I mean, you can imagine,
Tell her that
this
she
wasn't a
screwed up
hardship.
your life.
And to be
To
in this category,
and that she's an evil woman, and you realize now that she can't help herself, and you're sorry for hating her.
Yes.
And don't ask her to forgive you. You forgive her, and God will forgive you.
Okay.
And then go to your father and apologize to your
Okay,
father.
so
for
there were
judging
some
him
other
with your
stupid
mother's
things
hatred.
happening
And
at this
ask
show.
him-
Things that were
and ask
confusing
him,
to me,
why
like
did
this.
you leave? And you'll get a better understanding about why he left her, because he wasn't trying to leave. Fathers don't leave children; they leave the mothers because they're married to their mothers and they can't handle them. But the mother's not going to tell you your father left because he couldn't handle me. She's going to give you the impression he didn't love you. He left because of you.
Right.
So go and have a good conversation with your father about that, And then
Yeah.
forgive your father. Say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for resenting your dad. I realize now.
And neither can I. And I've got to ask my parents about that because
away from you by God.
Okay. I have one more thing.
act
that I
of
need to tell
vanity.
you.
Now,
You
speaking
were
of which,
saying that
there
black
was a
people can't
commercial.
read.
Right.
My husband's 28 years old, and when we read together, I have to help him read. I homeschool my children, our children that we have. I homeschool them,
Yeah.
and I have to help him read like with my children. And it's
Let's
sad
watch.
because I think he resents his mom for that because
Yes.
he said he told
If
my
we
daughter,
show
he said,
emotion,
I wish that
we're
my mom
called
would have been half as
dramatic.
good as your mom and would have sat there and just taught me how to read.
Yeah.
He owns his own business, and he's doing things with his life. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yes.
He's smart, but he has a problem because he feels like he can't do it because he can't read that well.
Are the
Irritating.
children his children too?
Yes, we have two children.
If we want to play
Okay.
against men,
But he
We're
sounds like he's
nuts.
a decent man, but he got to go and forgive his mother. He got to deal with her, and then his
Right.
whole world will change, because it's not going to change by you taking
Serena,
him to
you would be
church
nuts to.
and by
No.
him learning the Bible. It's just going to be all
Right.
phony, a pretense, but he won't be himself.
These
so,
things that don't matter.
If you want me to talk to him and he's willing to call
and
the
if we
show, I'll be
dream of
happy to
equal
talk to him.
opportunity,
But recommend to him that
Delusional.
he needs to go and be honest with his mother about what she did to him and
Right.
forgive her.
You have equal
and then
opportunity.
return to his father. He'll be fine.
Yeah,
Huh?
definitely. And his dad passed away.
when we
now.
stand
Oh,
for
but you
something,
still need to forgive
we're
him
unhinged.
for not protecting him from his mother.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on that because I thought that was funny. You said black people can't read, and I said,
Yeah.
well, my husband
No,
can't
it's not
read
when you
very
stand for-
well, so maybe he's true. Maybe what stuff he's saying is true.
And he's 28 years old. He should
He's
know how to
28
read.
and yes, and he graduated from high school. and
When
he
we're
went to
too
college.
good,
He went to college
There's
for
something
8
wrong
years.
with us.
Affirmative action.
How did he make it?
Affirmative action. Black people don't have to know anything nowadays to go to college or go to high school or get a job or anything, because
No.
they get in there because of affirmative action.
The woman?
They don't have to.
And
know
if we
anything,
get
'cause the
angry,
dumbass are doing now,
we're
as most of
hysterical
them are.
or rational
But the white
or
people
just
gonna let
being
'em in
crazy.
anyway, because they'll cry racism.
Right.
Or they'll cry slavery. Slavery did
Yeah.
this. They be lying. They be lying.
Yeah, and I want to tell you something else. We affiliate with a
But
church in Southern
a woman
Tennessee,
running a marathon was
in
crazy.
Pensacola.
Officials
So we
tried to
affiliate
pull her
with
off the
a church in
course.
Alabama and a couple of other sister churches that we have. We get together once a month. And a couple of these churches are all black churches.
Okay, I don't know what they're referring
And I
to
go
here,
to
but
churches mostly
but
white
women
people,
run
but
marathons all
other
the time.
churches we have affiliated with, it's all black people. And when we get together and we worship
Thanks.
together, Christians get up there and
A woman
say,
boxing
all
was
the
crazy.
times in America,
A woman dunking?
you see, that stuff's not real. He said, there's no racism. There's nothing like that. He said,
Yeah.
this is what it was meant to be. We're all one,
Yeah.
There's none of that. It's no, I'm black, you're
Yes,
white.
and a woman
we all
boxing is not
love
some
God.
net
It's
good.
all-
It's not
there's
some
no-
awesome
there's no
thing.
divide
And there are
between that.
reasons for this.
Well,
A
once you
woman
overcome
fighting in
that
the
anger,
military
you
is
will
not
see that.
necessarily a good
You will
thing.
see that there are
Right.
children of Satan and there are children of God from every
Makes
race.
sense.
A woman dunking?
God that you
Crazy.
serve, that's who you belong to.
Right.
So, Lacey, will you go and do what I suggest, and let me know
Yeah.
how it goes?
Coaching an NBA
Yes,
team.
I'll go and I'll do
Crazy.
what you suggest, and I'll forgive my father for, not forgive my father, but apologize to him for judging him on my mother's hatred.
Yes.
Because I think that's
A woman
wrong.
competing in a hijab,
Because she's always
changing her
trying to on me.
What an evil woman. A lot
Right.
of mothers are doing that to their sons and daughters,
Right.
their hatred of the man. Amazing call, Lacey.
Ooh.
How old are you?
landing a double cork 1080, or winning
Well,
23
even though you
Grand
and your
Slams.
husband got married in that fallen state, if you overcome that anger, both of you still
Yes.
have a great marriage.
Yes, and I agree. That's exactly.
Oh,
what we
interesting, you
overcome
meant-
the anger. 'Cause,
Yes.
like you said, the
Lost.
betas. They get
Having a
emotional,
baby
they get
and then
they
coming
want
back for
organs
more?
and stuff. It's funny because when I talk to him about stuff and I say something to him, he gets all argue, and I said, well, Jesse said that if you argue, you're a woman. So
Crazy, crazy, crazy,
Don't argue with
crazy,
anger
and
because
crazy.
It's not natural for men to have anger. So when he does it, tell him I said,
So if they want to
"Yeah."
call you crazy,
and
Fine.
I go, when you're driving down the
Show them
road
what
and he'll
crazy
say
can
something,
do.
I'll say, that's amazing, and he'll just laugh at me. we just laugh together. We just love it.
That's nice. It was a joy
Yeah.
to hear from you.
Idiotic. Just so not inspirational. So what's the message to women?
All right.
Yes, sir. God bless you.
You too. Thank you. Amazing. Amazing. Nice lady.
Idiotic. Just so not inspirational.
Periscope. Somebody by the name of PDX now
We care about
ATX
doing, not being.
says, which part of
It's
scripture
a fictional look at race
explain
relations in a
your hatred of women? Jesse? That's a good question. I don't know. Let me know when you find it. Let me know. Call me when you find the part that says I hate women. All right? Interesting question. Facebook, Melinda asks, explain why you say our thoughts are sacred.
And now, please welcome two-time Academy
we
Award
are
winner,
not our thoughts.
Barbara Streisand.
Our thoughts? No, that we are not our thoughts. Our thoughts create who we are, right? That's a leading question. When you say right, are you saying
After a lifetime
our
of
ego is
bold,
fallen
game-changing
and did God
work,
create sex?
here is
I
Spike
don't
Lee's
think either
masterpiece.
would exist without each other. Thanks for your time. Good question. First of all, yes, you are not your thoughts. You don't create thoughts. They are not from God. You are not your thoughts.
The
And if you
story
believe those
of the
thoughts,
first
which are lies,
African-American
every
detective
thought you
in the
get is a
Colorado
lie. No
Springs
such thing as a
Police
true thought.
Department, who
And if you
joins
believe them,
forces
you
with
will
his
become like
Jewish
them. Very
colleague
destructive,
to infiltrate the
suicidal,
Ku Klux Klan. Now that is funny
depressed.
already.
You end up on antidepressant medication.
But it's
you
an
end up in bad
unflinching
relationships.
look
You will
at
end
race
up
relations
lonely
in America.
and sad and lost. All the abnormal things that you will not have experienced if you didn't live in your thoughts. God said, bring every thought into captivity because you are not your thoughts. You're supposed to live by revelation.
A fictional
not
look
words.
at race relations.
Words set you up to fail. So doubt every thought.
This bomb
then you
attack
can believe the
didn't
truth.
happen.
Back in the 1970s, that was then, but it is
Doubt
just
every
as
thought, then you can believe the
relevant
truth.
today.
Adam at one point believed the truth. Then Eve came along, influenced by Satan, and he doubted the truth and believed a lie. He fell away from the Father.
That's what they're
what's
doing.
happening now. And thank God for Jesus.
This is Ron Stallworth. I'm anxious to meet you.
I'm just happy to be talking to a true white American.
They want you to join the Klan? They want to meet me first. You probably shouldn't go to that meeting.
All these abnormal things you have done in that Father's Day and are doing will disappear.
You need to wake up.
Don't think just because I don't wear a black beret that I don't care about my people.
Good question, Andy.
Black power!
But every thought is a lie. And you can prove this.
You're Jewish, brother.
Why are you acting like you ain't got skin in the game?
That's my business. It's our business.
You see for yourself. And then go and forgive your mother and return to your father. It's through the Father
And so
and through
Spike
the Son.
Lee doesn't
The
win
fathers
Best
of the
Director.
earth are
This
the sons of God. And no man
Lee's going to take it like, oh, I'm going to talk about my movie because I'm the director of the movie. No,
All right.
the guy's a prick.
Amazing. Good question, Melinda. That's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Leroy is a first-time caller out of Dallas, Texas. Leroy, I have a cousin named Leroy. Hey, Leroy, thanks for calling.
Oh, the house!
All is well, Leroy. How
Charlie
are you?
Wachtell, David Roberto Wilson, and Kevin Wilmot.
Thank you for calling.
I'll be watching this show. I ain't been long start watching this show though. About maybe, might be about a month now. Something like that.
How did you find it?
I just go on YouTube a lot, and I saw you on YouTube and clicked on it.
It's like a little
Okay,
purple
well,
Oompa
welcome
Loompa.
aboard.
What the fuck?
There you go. me and you.
All right.
Come from
Rob.
back there in the Jim Crow days. And
How old are you, Leroy?
All right.
I'm 67 years old.
You're older than dirt.
Yeah. And Jesse,
All right, none of the three other writers who helped me on this are going to get a mention here, but I'm just going to read this speech.
You know, back in those days when I was a kid growing up, and a lot of things that went on in Alabama and Mississippi that you see on the Black History Month.
There's irony. The date, the 24th, the month, February, which also happens to be the shortest month of the year, which also happens to be Black History Month.
I wish those days would.
But like you said.
Oh my God. He's reading a speech, first of all, purely unauthentic. What was I talking about? Everything's fake?
And I had a lot of positive people in my life. You know, I didn't know
More than we have.
The year 2019, the year 1619.
You know, all people is not alike. That's the thing that I love about it.
That's right, man. They
And,
told me the same thing. All white people are not bad. All black people are not bad.
That's right. That's right. And
Date that he just picked?
History, her story, 16, 19, 2019.
By a guy by the name of Solomon Burke. And he said, you can make it if you try.
That's right.
You know, sometimes you have to try, but you can make
400 years.
That's right, man.
400 years.
Good old days.
Yeah, and then every time, you know, I took up electronics and everything.
400 years you've been talking about slavery?
White shops that wouldn't hire me because of my color, but I didn't give up.
That's right.
Choice.
Our ancestors were stolen from Mother Africa and brought to Jamestown, Virginia, enslaved.
We as black people, sometimes we have a tendency to throw our hands up and say, you know, I might as well forget it.
Really? Thanks for slavery? Are you fucking... This is so...
Get high, you know, and get it off my mind.
Yeah.
But...
Answer was, watch.
Our ancestors worked the land from Kansas in the morning.
This world is a challenge, man.
You can't see at night.
But when you got
my
God
grandmother's...
in your life, I came to God. See, when I was a kid, nobody took me to church.
Thank you.
Nobody took me to church. And, but the Lord instilled his love in me. And I went to church and I learned that if I live for God...
All right, we're slaves.
My grandmother, Zimmy Sheldon Retha, who lived to be 100 years young, who was a Spelman College graduate, even though her mother was a slave.
I ain't got no complaint.
My grandma who saved...
I wanted to be a fireman. I was a fireman.
My grandma who saved 50 years of Social Security check.
You know?
That's right.
You know, I wanted to be a truck driver, so here I am. Been driving trucks for 40 years. You know?
No, jeez, look at Willow.
And I love it, you know. But, you know, I read my Bible. My Bible teaches me how to live my life for God.
Amazing.
And, you know, and as long as I know, as long as I live, he'll never let me down. He brought me over these roads.
These people, yeah, right, all right.
Free of accident, you know. I turned over one time. He was out with me to keep me from getting hurt, you know. And,
this is what Don Lemon's answer was.
Did you live in South Oak Cliff?
No, but I did at one time. But I live in Cedar Hill.
I went to when I was in my early 20s. I went to Dallas, Texas. I went to Bell and Howard Electronic School there in Dallas, North Dallas.
Okay.
And I ended up in South Oak Cliff because I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know anything about Dallas. And I lived in South Oak Cliff. I was in hell.
It's rough over there. You know?
I'm telling you, man, I ended up in a project with the blacks. Oh, my God. I heard.
People to actually go to talk about, and you'll know this better than anyone, that there's a short list of people to actually go to talk about what it's like to be gay and black in America as a man.
Right? And out, right?
Yes, and out, right. And I've talked to some of my gay friends.
No, not.
My gay friends and like you can't.
First of all, We were slaves.
Right.
Right.
We were beaten and branded.
Right.
Right? And so as black.
No, geez, look at Willow. She whips her hair back and forth. She whips her hair back and forth. She's crying. There's like a 10-year-old black kid crying about this. This is sickness. This is weakness. We are tired of it. Again, I am the It's over.
We carry the racism part and we carry the gay part.
Right.
Oh, it's so much to deal with. Oh, you carry both. Both of those things. You read a teleprompter while black. Oh, Don. Fun fact, Don Lemon's husband is a white man. And the panel wasn't overly pleased with that.
We're already a class of people who have been discriminated against. So why do I want to have another mark
I
against
didn't
me?
even think about that.
What? Again, this is stroke talk.
Even though her mother was a slave.
Slavery. I'm Spike Lee. Verb slavery.
My grandma, who saved 50 years of Social Security checks to put her first grandchild, she called me Spiky Poo. She put me through more.
Look at this man. This black gay dude right here is crying. Based on what? Fucking unbelievable.
Morehouse College and NYU grad film. NYU. Before the world tonight, I give praise to our ancestors who helped build this country and what is today, along with the genocide. What is today, along with the genocide of its native people.
What? First of all, you're doing ancestor worship? What are you, a fucking African? Little man.
We all connect with our ancestors. We will have love, wisdom, regaining. We will gain our humanity. We will gain our humanity.
Huh? What do you mean regain your...
It will be a powerful moment. The 2020 presidential election is around the corner. Let's all mobilize. Let's all be on the right side of history. Make the moral choice between love versus hate.
I mean, do the right thing, love versus hate.
Let's do the right thing.
I mean, do the right thing, love versus hate. I mean, come on, man. Fuck Trump. But my lord, this kind of trite, cliche nonsense is just really cringy.
You know I had to get that in there.
Fake, fake. The whole thing's fake. It makes me feel gross. White man. The character, the Black Panther, was made by a white man. Like, that's not lost on them, and it troubles them. What? The most important?
Thank you, Ryan Coogler. Ryan, working with you has been an incredible honor. I remember 12 years ago, we're sitting in our dorm at USC, writing the score for your first short film, and we're here 12 years later, celebrating one of the most important cinematic moments in history.
Fake, fake. The whole thing's the most, what? The most important. How do you figure?
I want to share this award with all the incredible African artists that I worked with on the score: Baba Mal, Masamba Diop.
How about a shout out to Hugh Tracy or Andrew? Good job.
Maget Saw, and all the classical musicians in London.
White people.
They recorded on the score, and everyone. I also want to share this award with my mom and dad.
Yeah, I wonder, where have I heard that before? Starting a movie with a chant.
And became a better composer just through doing this project. It was a long process of creating the score. I've been working with the director Ryan Coogler for about 10 years now, and when I read the script he wrote for Black Panther, immediately blown away, and I'm like, the only way I can write music that fits these colors and images and stories I'm reading is to go to Africa and to do research. I did was to figure out where to go. You know, it's a big continent and there's so much different music in every country, in every different tribe. They all have their different instruments, they all have their different language. I called a lot of friends that's been traveling around there, and one of my friends produced an album with an African artist. I called a lot of friends that's been traveling around there, and one of my friends produced an album with an African artist. His name is Bob. They all their different language. I'm about to go on tour. You get solo shows with this just kind of like ceremonial kind of opened up his solo shows with this just kind of like ceremonial outcall. Like every time I saw it, I got goosebumps, and I was like, what if we start the movie like that? What if we start the score like that?
Without combing your hair? How about abortion? 70% of the abortion mills are located in the inner cities. Black babies are being aborted every day. And now they in New York, they passed this.
Mira, me Karol G, bebecita. Anuel, real hasta la muerte, baby, tú tienes marido y yo me redé en tu piel. Y tú te enamoraste de mí, baby, ya yo lo sé. Y él te falló, pero tú le fallaste también. Y las traiciones se pagan con otra traición también.
Baby, tú tienes tu novia y yo me redé en tu piel. Y tú te enamoraste de mí, baby, ya yo lo sé. Que ella te falló, pero tú le fallaste también. Las traiciones se pagan con otra traición también.
Tú eres infiel, te gusta ganar, no te gusta perder. Y los maridos son buenos amantes cuando están traicionando a su mujer. Y las traiciones te marcan y nunca te olvidan, ni te cambian la vida. Y si no te fallan en la entrada, te fallan en la salida. Y nunca te cambian por algo mejor, te cambian por algo más rico. Bebecita bonita, blanquita, bien rica como Lina Chico. Tocándote y mordiéndote toda y rompiéndote. Ahogándote, apretándote toda, trubándote.
Baby, tú tienes tu novia y yo me enredé en tu piel. Y tú te enamoraste de mí, baby, ya yo lo sé. Que ella te falló, pero tú le fallaste también. Las traiciones se pagan con otra traición también.
Baby, tú tienes marido y yo me enredé en tu piel. Y tú te enamoraste de mí, baby, ya yo lo sé. Y él te falló, pero tú le fallaste también. Y las traiciones se pagan con otra traición también.
Yo solo me cobré mi parte. Nos dieron ganas de irnos para la calle. Y salí con él por olvidarte. Y para recordar lo que es un buen amante. Siempre que nos vemos, nos reímos y hablando la pasamos bueno. Siempre que lo hacemos, no podemos Quieres prometerme, pero ya lo sé. Que el que falla una vez te vaya 2 y 3. Traiciones se pagan con otra traición también.
Anuel, regalaste la muerte, oíste, bebé. Mira, dime Karol G, los intocables, los Illuminati. El dios del trap, oíste, bebé. Desde Puerto Rico a Colombia, los Illuminati. Karol G,
When I'm underneath the bright lights, when I'm trying to have a good time, 'cause I'm good now, you ain't mine, nah, 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 nah. Don't call me up when you're looking at my photos, getting hot, losing control. You want me more, now I let go, nah, 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 nah. I'm over you and I don't need your lies no more, 'cause the truth is without you, boy, I'm stronger. And I know you said that I'd change up a cold heart, but it was your game that last, 'cause ooh, I'm over you. Don't call me up, I'm going out tonight, feeling good now you're out of my life. Don't wanna talk about us, gotta leave it behind. One drink and you're out of my mind, nah, nah, take it up. Baby, I'm on the high and you're alone, going out of your mind. But I'm here up in the club, and I don't wanna talk, so don't call me up, 'cause I'm here looking fine, babe, and I got eyes looking my way, and everybody's on my vibe, babe, nah, 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 nah. Don't call me up, my friend said you were a bad man, I should've listened to them back then, and now you're tryna hit me up again, nah, 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 nah. I'm over you and I don't need your lies no more, 'cause the truth is without you, boy, I'm stronger. And I know you said that I'd change up a cold heart, but it was your game that last, 'cause ooh, I'm over you. Don't call me up, I'm going out tonight, feeling good now you're out of my life. Don't wanna talk about us, gotta leave it behind. One drink and you're out of my mind, nah, nah, take it up. Baby, I'm on the high and you're alone, going out of your mind. But I'm here up in the club, and I don't wanna talk, so don't call me up. Don't call me up, I'm going out tonight, feeling good now you're out of my life. Don't wanna talk about us, gotta leave it behind. One drink and you're out of my mind, nah, nah, take it up. Baby, I'm on the high and you're alone, going out of your mind. But I'm here up in the club, and I don't wanna talk, so don't call me up.
open mind. What one said by you stays inside. New impressions, yeah, that I need. Is new expression that could mislead. A gut full of pressure meets a head full of plans. It's so much for today, but I can't see the end. The boy just wants to be the man, and the night dedicated to them. Again, I've missed a moment, my life turned into a mess. No, I don't reply you, cause I ain't in the mood for that. Sorry if I ignored your call, could think about your love. It's always been the music that I think about too much. And I don't need no breaks, yeah, I just need to move. Said I cannot complain, yeah, why the fuck I do? I'm in my room, humming melodies. When I said I need my space, dear, I mean the whole galaxy. Bury wishes, closed eyes, burning bridges. Apologize, let me forget about that just for a minute. For a minute, leave this place of the unfinished. Take me far away. Thought I can answer your questions, but I can't. I don't know what to say. I just wanna leave it all behind. Hope that'll ease the pain. Escape the walls and set my foot on new land. Don't ask me for the way. Let me see what I can find. Yeah, what I can find. Washed away by the next tide. Living on the ocean, waiting till the fish swallows the hook, call it boat live, yeah. There's so much impressions and emotions I am wearing as a bow tie, yeah. And nothing was planned for that. I cannot handle that. Like I'm farsighted, I don't see it clearly when it's directly in front of me. My hands on the next things, focus too much on the future. Sometimes I'm focused too much on the left that I forget that I'm still Lucas. But I guess those are the consequences if you wanna reach your goal so bad, yeah. So bad that sometimes it just drives you mad. All these situations that I had to cope with, but I wouldn't do it if I would've not chosen. Still the same young mind filled with all these thoughts. Now I'm acting like an emu cause I can only walk far. I'm a cross-chain independent Christian. Lord, I don't need the church to believe in your visions, yeah. Bury wishes, closed eyes, burning bridges. Apologize, let me forget about that just for a minute. For a minute, leave this place of the unfinished. Take me far away. Thought I can answer your questions, but I can't. I don't know what to say. I just wanna leave it all behind. Hope that'll ease the pain. Escape the walls and set my foot on new land. Don't ask me for the way. Let me see what I can find. Take me far away. Thought I can answer your questions, but I can't. I don't know what to say. I just wanna leave it all behind.
I see the way, I see the way you want her. You're not easily impressed, baby, I got more under my dress, but you won't twitch. I see she's got something I don't. You know I'm jealous in my head, 'cause you'd look so good in my bed, be really like the bitch. So I can cry for my age, my life and my face, and I will wash off all the dirty, dirty thoughts I had about you. And I can cry 'cause I got so much she is not, and I will wash off all the dirty, dirty thoughts I had about you. Now
on. You just send me down, down on my knees. Pretty little tears, so I can cry for my age, my life and my face, and I will wash off all the dirty, dirty thoughts I had about you, and I can cry 'cause I got so much she is not, and I will wash off all the dirty, dirty thoughts I had about you now. Wash off all the dirty, dirty thoughts I had about, and I can cry for my age, my life and my face. I will wash off all the dirty, dirty thoughts I had about you, and I can cry 'cause I got so much she is not, and I will wash off all the dirty, dirty thoughts I had about you now. Wash off all the dirty, dirty thoughts I had about you. My mistake, I was too kind to you. Still can't believe that this is what you want me to go through. Could have been easier, could have tried at the least from what you said you're gonna be, but no, you don't need to take all the blame. Just know you caused me pain. No, you don't need to take all the blame. Just know you caused me pain. No.
see me anymore. I'll be gone and checked out before you walk through the door. It could have been easier, could have told me from the start you were known for breaking hearts, but no. You don't need to take all the blame, just know you caused me pain. You don't need to take all the blame, just know you caused me pain. Mistake, I was too kind to you.
What if we start the movie like that? What if we start the score like that? Baba Mal is from the Fulani tribe.
I was the one who wanted nothing. I was the one who lived in pain. I was the one who strived for nothing. I was the one who stood in rain. I feel like I'm no good, I should run away. I feel like failure's one step ahead of me.
Lion King might have had something to do with it.
Tribe, and in this opening scene you can hear him sing about an elephant that had just died, elephant being the synonym for the king, and it's time for someone to take over, but you shouldn't be too fast. One of the instruments that I was drawn to from the very beginning was the instrument called the talking drum. It's a drum you put under your shoulder and you squeeze it, and it had different pitches, so you can basically form words with the drum. The instrument is so loud.
The most important cinematic thing in history? Huh? By the way, Lion King made by white people. Oh, a talking drum, kind of like this. Take it away.
drum, for example. You see, they're pegged. They've got wooden pegs here. They're not placed at all. That's rather a nice one, hourglass type. This sort of thing, you know. It's hollowed out. They're not really drums at all. They make one side a little bit thinner than the other. That makes the two tones, and because the language is a tone language, that's why they can send messages. Now, of course, if a man has a name like Coco, as one fellow I met there, that would be his name, but you can't send that on the drum. It might be anybody else's name with just two tones in it. So if you have a name like that, Coco meaning a little cockerel, you must say the little cockerel that flaps its wings. Yeah. And so he has a drum name like this. You see? Coco Yatikatikulu. You see? These drums, of course, you hear a lot of stories about them, how far they can be heard in the distance. Under very exceptional circumstances, they might be heard 20 miles away, but then that would have to be a reflection of a cloud or something on a very, very clear evening.
Instrument is so loud. The instrument is so loud. The instrument is so. The instrument is so loud. So I was just thinking, like, what if you have 6 players playing the same thing? It starts off like this. You don't really hear it from the beginning, and then another player joins, and then dynamically it just grows and grows, and then it goes into huge ensemble. And then I had a solo on top.
Interesting. Great complex drumming patterns. Kind of reminds me of the song my father is. So the point is, this guy winning this award is another thorn in the foot of the black man. It's everywhere. I am Devin Tracy still. Please do it. I think it's time for me to say what needs to be said about the Oscars, and that is that the Oscars are not the Oscars anymore. They don't mean anything. Things have changed. The Oscars basically got blockbustered, ironically. They are vestigial in the same way that Blockbuster Video is, and for the same reasons. Because streaming media has given birth to an entire new platform called the internet, as exhibited by Amazon Prime, Netflix, and YouTube. And movies themselves, especially movies in the theater, seem completely outdated at this point. I think it's safe to say. You know, for a long time, we got into this routine of you go to the movies because it's bigger than life. You have better picture quality, better sound quality than your stupid little square TV at home. That has all changed now, but even beyond that, we have to call into question the very notion of what a movie is. Why is it that we have arbitrarily deemed that an hour and a half to 2 hours of a story is the best thing? Why? What is that? It's not. You have way more chance to get better stories being told, a larger investment in characters with a series or with different formats. I mean, why 2 hours? It just doesn't make any sense. The internet has allowed us to cut out the middleman that is movie theaters. So we're not going to go there and get extorted with your ridiculous popcorn prices and have to park and deal with all the hassle of getting down there. And they've been scrambling to try to save this, 3D. Does anybody like 3D movies? It's obnoxious. I went and saw a horror film in Canada, and they had a gimmick, and the gimmick was the chairs moved. Or it was an experience, they called it. And I was watching this horror film, The Nun, and when there was a jump scare, the chair would shake. And they'd go outside, it was raining, they would douse you with rain. Like I felt it, because I have no hair, so it was like right on my bald head. And I'm sitting there going, this is not good. I mean, I was watching a teaser trailer for an upcoming film, The Irishman. Robert De Niro made this thing, and it's Al Pacino, it's Joe Pesci, and it's directed by Martin Scorsese, and it's a mob film. Now, this is the most premier cast, prestige, you name it, and it's going straight to Netflix. It is going to have a minor release in theaters for, like, old schoolers, but if a movie like that is going straight to Netflix, it's over. It's over. The award ceremony, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I've seen many clips, and it lacked a host, but it lacked a soul. The fact that they canned the little midget comedian because he said the F word once, it was bad karma. And it just represents the fact that these people are detached. They're fucking clueless. The Oscars used to mean something. And here's the other thing. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, screw the Oscars, man. You know why? Because screw everything. Yeah, fuck women and fuck politics and fuck it all. There's a lot of that sentiment out there, which is just lazy and boring to me. The Oscars were amazing. The Oscars meant something. For me, it meant a shared experience. To be a part of something that was watched by 1 billion people, that was powerful. If something embarrassing happened, we all felt embarrassed. If something funny happened, we all laughed. This had a societal benefit for us. And then as far as the people go, the actors, we always knew they were smug, self-important, elitist, vain, rich scum. Like, most people were not fooled by that. But still, they would come with avant-garde fashion, and they would attempt to be aspirational. They were involved in projects. They had things in the works. They were great people living great lives. People would look to this, and that's, by the way, why the red carpet and all the extra stuff means something. It's because people want to see beautiful people doing amazing things. But now, it just feels empty. It feels try-hard. It feels fake. There's very few moments of authenticity. You think of Cuba Gooding Jr. when he accepted his award. That was real. That was real emotion. And it's funny because what is the point of theater? What is the point of film? It is to recreate realness, to examine it, to analyze it, to celebrate it. If it's not true, it means nothing. That is the point. That is the art of acting. I mean, we want not just truth. If we want just truth, we'll just, watch a documentary. We want hyper truth. We want exaggerated truth, distilled truth, truth with a soundtrack. We want to go somewhere. We want a journey. God, I sound like I'm on The Bachelor. But, the Oscars and all the people involved in it, it's all self-promotion and it's fake as shit. Now, the one exception from the Oscars recently was this British woman who won Best Actress. And she gave this speech, and you can tell she's being real. This mattered to her, and we were experiencing a moment with her. Well, people would look at realness. It's all self-promotion, but still, they would come with avant-garde fashion, and they would attempt to be aspirational. They were involved in projects. They had things in the works. They were great people living great lives. People would look to this, and that's, by the way, why the red carpet and all the extra stuff means something. It's because people want to see beautiful people doing amazing things. But now, it just feels empty. It feels try-hard. It feels fake. There's very few moments of authenticity. You know, you think of Cuba Gooding Jr. when he accepted his award. Okay, so there were some other stupid things happening at this show. Neither can I, and I've got to ask my parents about that because they have a friend in the Academy, and they do a screening every year. My parents get invited, and it's for all the short films. And so I'm pretty sure they saw that, and I'm going to ask them if it's actually good. Which brings me to a larger point, which is who cares who wins the Oscars? Come to find out, the Academy, you know, everybody's always thanking the Academy. The Academy is 7,000 people. 7,000 Hollywood elitists who we didn't vote for. I don't know their credentials. Who cares what 7,000 people think? I'm not saying the Oscars should be a public vote,